One
Yeah,
thing I want to pick up on, Abdurrahim, is that this notion of I feel, and I think a lot of people that were like looking at you and your story will feel that it was very brave of you to go to Hyde Park and to do those things, right? And speaking about
yeah.
Islam, it requires a certain level of
Mm,
bravery or confidence, or I don't know what to call it, but like imagine I'm a guy who's watching this and thinks, you know what, like I would love to like tell my friends and my
yeah,
colleagues about Islam and all this,
yeah,
but I don't know, I just feel shy or I feel like I don't want to do it.
yeah.
Like, how do you find that courage? How do you kind of, make
I
that happen?
honestly, bro, Speaker's Corner, without doubt, is absolutely terrifying. I will tell you, when I used to go down there, my heart rate would start going through the roof. Literally, it was the fight or flight response. And
Mm,
most of the time, my mind and my body is screaming at me, run, get out of this place, go away, right?
mm,
It's like, it's like you are going into the lion's den. It is no doubt, as a speaker, terrifying, right?
mm,
Even if I went there today, I am sure the same thing would happen. And I would just make dua. From the moment I park my car, I would pick up my ladder, right? And I would start making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? To guide me to whatever. It's just one foot in front of the other, right? And, I'd get up there and then I'd start with I got to learn the khutbah al-hajj, in alhamdulillah, nahmaduhu, and once you start, honestly, once I started and I made that khutbah, I could talk maybe. I think the longest speech I ever gave was maybe 5 or 6 hours nonstop. I just talked for 6 hours nonstop. And like I don't even know. Like until today, I think I don't know how the words came out. Like it's not. I do study and I do read and I would read the Quran a lot, a lot. Like every week, I would read the Quran in English and I would read the Hadith. And so it's not I didn't study. I did, right?
mm,
But I still can't think like how I would stand there and like the words would come out. Like subhanallah, it was like it's just from Allah, really.
mm,
Um, and that's what it is. I think I think sometimes, look, if people want to give dawah to their friends, there's nothing wrong with planning a little bit what you want to say. Think about what you want to say to them. Actually, the best thing I recommend for you is it depends who your friends are, but if they're non-Muslim friends, then the best thing I recommend is learn the Ayera Dawah training, which you, Mohammad Arshad, came up with the idea, the name for it, Go Rap, yeah, for God's existence, God's oneness, revelation, and prophethood. You can go online and learn how to give that system of dawah. What it does is what's really nice about it, it gives you a blueprint. It gives you a map for your conversation. And so you have a really good idea. Okay, how am I going to start this conversation and where am I going to take it? Where do I want to go with this? Because otherwise conversations can just go here, there, and everywhere. You end up talking about everything. Why do Muslims not eat pig? Why you don't drink alcohol? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? Why didn't you do this? Why? And like these things are actually not important at all. What is really important, it's not that it's not important at all, but to the conversation, to a non-Muslim,
mm,
you have to get, what I mean is you have to get to the basics. If they don't understand about whether there's a God or not, if they don't understand that Allah is one, if they don't understand why the Quran is from God, if they don't understand about the Prophet Muhammad, what does it matter whether you can explain to them intellectually,
yeah.
why pork is bad for you? It's irrelevant, right? Mostly it's irrelevant. So I think things like that, plan your conversations in your head, and make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah will give you strength. At the end of the day, Allah doesn't need you to call anyone to Islam.
Mm,
Allah doesn't, Allah will guide people. I can tell you stories of people, subhanallah, how they became Muslim. It's just unbelievable. No one gave them dawah. People in remote parts of Mexico reading the Spanish encyclopedia and coming across just for fun, there's just like to stimulate their minds. They would read the encyclopedia. They come across the entry on Islam written by a non-Muslim, and they read about it and say, this is the true religion.
mm,
A lady up in Scotland, somehow comes across some random book in a bookstall and, that's it. She says, that's it. I want to become Muslim. So there's amazing stories of, if Allah wants to guide someone, He's going to guide them. So we have to remember that Dawah is for us, really. It's for our benefit, because if Allah guides someone to Islam through you, then subhanallah, you get the reward of everything that person does as a Muslim. You share in the reward of it. So it's an amazing way to get reward, and it's a duty. You know, giving dawah is a duty. It's an obligation. It's something that Allah has ordered us with, just like prayers and fasting and all the other things, right? So it's just something we should be doing as Muslims.
Amazing.